Okay, Sky Pirates, The Dragon's Gold, second part. It was all hands on deck when they got back to Captain Lil. She scrambled out of the hole and swiftly set about issuing orders. Bulkhead and Slingshot were in charge of digging around the brown box shape in the sand. Echo, Betty and Flora ferried buckets of water back and forth from the surf to soften the hard packed grains of sand. Captain Lil stood and watched, a stern expression on her tanned face, her long dark curls billowing in the breeze where they'd escaped from her kerchief. A kerchief is like a handkerchief, but people would wrap it around their heads so they looked like pirates. Well, because they were pirates, I guess. So people would now do it just to look like pirates. They'd do something like this, maybe. What do you think? Like that? Maybe not quite like that. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe you have to work it out. Like that? Like this? I don't know now. Anyway, Echo was grateful for the cool water on her bare feet and calves as she dunked her bucket into the foaming surf for the third time. She hurried back to the others. Oh, look at this page, has a picture of what they're doing. Pretty cool. It shows Captain. It shows who are the two people that are in the hull. Do you remember their names? And then who is this? And who's running back and forward to get the water from the sea? That's a really nice picture. Watch out, she said, and sloshed out the water as Bulkhead and Slingshot stood back. The sandy layer dissolved to reveal the dark, oblong-covered brown box with rusted metal studs. A chest. Echo felt almost dizzy with pride. Well, you'll take a look at that, said Slingshot. Aye, said Bulkhead. She's only gone and found it. Flora crowded in next to Echo. She has as well, a real treasure. Echo couldn't stop to the grin from spreading over her face as she took the lid of the battered old chest. She'd saved their skins. We'll have a feast tonight. Flora turned to Echo and gave her a high five with one grubby hand, while Gilbert did a jubilant victory wiggle on Echo's shoulder. Stop that, you lot. Lil's expression grew stern. There's no time for celebrating now. We're vulnerable until we've got this haul back on the ship. She scanned the beach. Bulkhead, go and fetch the ropes. Slingshot, you two back to the Scarlet Margaret and bring her closer. She drew her cutlass. Bring Spud and Skillet too. I'll stand guard. There was a murmur from the crew as they arranged themselves one behind the other with each rope. Echo positioned Gilbert securely across her shoulders and stood behind Bulkhead. Ready, Black Sky Wolves? Asked Lil. Everyone grabbed the rope in both hands. Ready, they all cheered. Heave, yelled Bulkhead. Echo braced her feet in the sand and pulled backwards with all her strength. In front of her, Bulkhead's broad back strained as hand over hand, slowly but surely they pulled. Heave! The tough rope burned Echo's hands. She almost stumbled backwards but managed to stay upright. Heave! Echo could feel the coarse fibers pulling at her skin. Her feet skidded and she landed on her bottom in the sand, but she kept hold of the rope, staggered back to her feet and gritted her teeth and kept pulling. Nearly there, yelled Lil. Betty, now! As the brown lid of the chest emerged from the hole, Betty leapt forward, the many bottles in her long skirts clinking, and grabbed its handles with both hands. The crew gave one final heave, and with a thud, the chest pulled out of the hole and tipped onto the sand. Everyone dropped the ropes, which rippled out onto the shoreline with a slap. Echo held her breath as Lil crouched down to brush sand away from the lock. What treasures would there be inside? Silver, gold, diamonds? Echo's mind spun with possibilities. How are we going to open it? Flora's shrill voice cut through Echo's daydream. Echo jumped up, put her hand to her hairpin she always wore. I could pick the lock. No need for that, said Lil, brushing her aside. Stand clear, everyone. She took a pace back and drew her musket from its holster, aimed and pulled the trigger. Bang! There was a crack of splintering wood as the chest disappeared in a cloud of gunpowder and smoke. When the air cleared again, Echo saw that the lock had been blown clean off into the sand. Lil wafted the last wisps of smoke away and strode over. Bulkhead a hand. Bulkhead positioned himself before the chest and turned to Echo. Come on, you two, it was you what found it after all. Echo grinned and raced to take her place between them. On my count, said Lil. 1, 2, 3, heave! The wood was warped and so swollen with salt water that the lid was tightly wedged shut, but as they jiggled it, Echo finally felt it loosening. With a pop, the hasps unfastened and the chest sprang open. Ready to see what you found? Bulkhead looked at Echo with a grin. She nodded. Gilbert's claws tightened on Echo's shoulder as she squinted into the musty darkness inside the chest. But she couldn't see anything. Where was the shining treasure? Echo tipped the chest over and jumped back in alarm as a rather cross-looking octopus plonked out onto the sand. It couldn't be. The chest was empty. There were disappointed cries from the rest of the crew as everyone shuffled forward to see for themselves. Echo stood apart, her arms folded across her chest. As she fought back the tears of disappointment that were threatening to spill, the octopus, on the other hand, slip-slopped its way past them and slid into the water. Oh, how disappointing. Oh, chapter 2, and the first word is disappointing. Oh well. Good night, my beautiful Bubba. That is the end of chapter 1, and tomorrow we can read chapter 2. Did you catch it? Okay, blow me one. I got you. Good night, Bubba. I love you.